playing more of Subnautica. As you can see, I started at a hardcore the other day. I'm surprised I made it as far as I have without dying. there. Let's see, I guess I can check the life pod. I don't think I have any life pod either, but you never know. Especially since it's been like 4 days since the last live stream. Nope, just medkits. And the most useless item in the game. I guess I could have checked the sea moth as well. No, I got gold on it. You know, I don't know why I'm trying to get stuff to make the arms when I don't even have a moon pool yet. I need 2 moon pools. I can breathe a little bit better. I do need more titanium. Don't be surprised if I go like back and forth into this place. going to need copper at some point. That should be enough for now. Actually, it's not. One short. Probably grab a few extra. Now that I got the inventory again. Kinda wish the scan gun also had a light on it. The flare, in my opinion, is the most useless item in the game. The second most useless is the flashlight. One more fragment should be enough. For the stuff I want to get at the moment, at least.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
was going to build it on this side, both of them. Yep, cool. Oh, phooey. I need 2 of those. Let's see. This is one of the reasons why I have the game where it pauses when I'm in the PDA. I know I need titanium for it. I can never remember how many. I passed it. And there it is. 3 each.
After weeks without human contact, it is normal to experience psychological discomfort. Research indicates symptoms may be partly alleviated by adopting a pet or anthropomorphizing an inanimate object.
I don't know why I'm trying to do all of this right now. I could just build the darn thing. There's a reason why I built it right there. That's because when I build the second moon pool, you see that it connects to each other? I don't need 2 connections there. I don't even really need 1. But I do like having it there. Alright. Now that I got the moon pool built, don't need that. No, I'm going too far. I am looking for that. Told you I was going to need the titanium later. Or not the titanium, the copper. Pretty sure that's gold. Yep. So I need 2 of these as well. Yeah.
Oxygen.
Welcome aboard, Captain. integrity restored. Draining systems initiated.
Not done in here, actually. Because what I need is limestone. So I need 8 copper. I got 1 on me. Yep. So 7 more. Come on. Let's do... That's 3. Wow. Got lucky with that one. Watch me not get lucky for the rest. I stand corrected. Alright, so now I need to head back this way, get a couple... Well, actually, no. More than a couple of the coral. So I need 4 of them. As far as I'm aware, these don't grow back. Probably should get more copper. Build at least 1 more of the reinforcement. If I do that, I want to look for metal fragments for those. Why did I say metal fragments? Metal salvage, or what I prefer to call scrap. Get 1 more. 4 more copper. I'm being a moron. I guess I can go ahead and make these computer chips though. So, this reinforcement is not staying here. The reason why, the stuff that I'm about to make is going to replace it. However, I want to build one on this side first. Once I build one on this side, I'm going to build a reinforcement right here. I will also be building a reinforcement. I think it's one. Is it 1 or 2 that I can build here? 2. Actually, I want to build these 2 first. I'll go build one. I always do that. I'll build one right here first, though. One more lithium. This is why I grabbed a bunch the other day.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Alright, let's see if I can get lucky and get copper instead of titanium. No, no, not for that one at least. Not for that one either. For those who don't know me very well, I will say either or either. I will switch back and forth. Same thing with lever and lever. I don't know why people limit their vocabulary. Or pronunciations. I know growing up and I was in school, my speech wasn't the best. So, as I got older, I would try to expand it as much as possible. However, I was never interested in spelling whatsoever, so I don't know how people know about psychology, especially kid psychology, but when you're a kid, if you are not interested in something, it is very hard for you to learn it. It is very important if you are a teacher or a parent to have your child interested in something. Yes, you can force them to learn, but it will take longer and longer the more that they don't like it. So keep that in mind when you're trying to teach children. The fastest way for them to learn is for them to be interested in it. And just because they're not interested and it takes them forever to learn something, it doesn't mean that they have a learning disability. That's one thing that my mother got wrong. It's like, I don't have any type of learning disability. Or at least I'm fairly certain I don't. But she always put me in special ed growing up thinking I had one. I don't. I was just never interested in learning the stuff from those classes. And personally, I felt degraded always being put in special ed. Not because of the special side of it. Like, I actually gained quite a few friends from being in special ed. Like, special kids are usually pretty nice. And they get a bad rap a lot of the time. I was actually in the Special Olympics for, well, the younger Special Olympics. I still have issues with spelling to this day, by the way. My reading is pretty decent, though. So, I no longer need that. I'm having a brain fart. What do I need? Oh, diamonds. Alrighty.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
I'm going to have this one be my prawn suit one. I like it when it faces this way. So, something I wish that they did is these can only be set in 2 spots, and you actually kind of seen them. You can tell what direction your vehicles are going to be in based on this antenna. And if you notice when you're building, you can see this antenna. It's not going to be moving in the blueprint. I'll show you what I'm talking about a little bit. So, actually, it is going to be moving. But I'm going to be hitting the left key to rotate it, right?
What are you?
That freaks a lot of people out the first time it happens. Alright, so back what I was talking about. I'm going to be hitting the left key, which will rotate it. You see that it can rotate. However, I'm going to hit the left key again. And you notice it's in the same spot regardless. For some stupid reason, they made it so it will only rotate like that. Now, there are a few, I think there's a way around it. Like, for instance, if it's the first building you build, you can just move it like this, and it can be in any direction. However, snap points towards the player, there's only 2. They shouldn't have done that. They should have made it so you can rotate it completely around, because personally, I prefer when I jump in, well, when I have my vehicles, I prefer to be facing the main part of my base, not away from it.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
But luckily, I'm fine with this. So, if you build this, as you can see, it starts charging. Well, first of all, you can see the charging. This will always charge your vehicle. It's not very fast though, but it will always charge it. The second thing that this allows you to do is customize your vehicles, including the name. There is a character limit. I will show you. That is the maximum number of letters you can have. I am not going to count them. Now, I always name my vehicles the same. My Seamoth, I always name Jellybean. I always color them the same as well. For those that don't know, red and black are my favorite colors. As you notice, I haven't put red in it yet. That's because I'm about to. The stripes are red. I put my name in blue because it's the easiest. It's kind of appealing, like blue and red, or well, not blue and red, black and blue. It looks appealing being together. Yeah, that's how I always color it. Sometimes I do the opposite red, the red that's over here. It just depends on my mood. Now, for my prawn suits. You can kind of see already the stuff I name. For the prawn suit, I always name it Jelly Walker because it walks. And of course, I can't really name it Jelly Bean Walker because I don't have enough characters. I hate that the default's all the way down. Because, like, you can literally make it black this way. Alrighty, there's that. Now, I don't think, yeah, I don't have a storage module for that, which is why I have it like that. Now, this allows me to start building. I do have to admit, I know I'm not playing the game right now. I am playing Subnautica, but I know I'm not playing Subnautica Below Zero right now. But one of the things I do love about the Sea Truck, assuming you get the fabrication module for the Sea Truck, it is so good. You can build all of these upgrades with that module. You can build most, not all, but most of the upgrades from this in that module as well. You can't build all of them, but you can build most of them. Alrighty, now I need to go around the other side. I do wish these were switched with the name and the upgrades. I do wish that they were switched. Now, I'm not going to bother building any other arm. I have my reasons for it. My reasoning, well, not my reasoning, but my reason is I like being able to pick things up. That's my first reason. My second reason is I use this arm as my attack arm for self-defense and when I want to makes something not alive anymore. Alrighty, so now I guess I can just do it from here. Now, I'm not saying I won't look for the other arms, because I do like looking for the arms. But I'm not going to worry about it. I was hitting the wrong button. I was hitting the X instead of square. Alrighty, so I don't worry about the other two modules. I don't care for hull enforcement. I don't care for engine efficiency. The reason why, even if I have my modules I like, for the Seamoth specifically, you basically have to have a depth module, which means you only have 3 spots that you can put things, right? The Seamoth doesn't have storage naturally. You have to have a module for that. So that means there's only 2 potential spots available. I like having the ability to charge my vehicles without having to have a moon pool, which means solar charger. Okay, that leaves 1 inventory slot for the Seamoth. Perimeter defense system is basically something you have to have if you're going to go into dangerous territory, which I don't take my prawn suit everywhere. It is my primary vehicle I use for mid to late game. Basically, once I have it, I just noticed my power. Oh, that's what. I use it primarily because I like how basically, so that jump kit that requires the sulfur. Once I get that, that's when I switch to primarily using the prawn suit. Now, I don't have the ingredient I need to start making the temperature module. I do need to get some water though. Alrighty. But yeah, I got my reasonings. Now I'm going to talk about the prawn suit upgrades that I like having.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
The prawn suit, it has natural storage. However, let me take this off real quick. The natural storage only goes right below this purple tablet. So there's not a lot. It does have a decent amount of storage naturally. However, more is better. So with the storage module, I know I don't have to jump in the water. With that's not what I meant to hit either. I guess I need to repair it anyways. I forgot how long it takes to repair the prawn suit. But with the storage module, okay, that's kind of a ripoff. It only gives you 1 extra row. Six inventory slots for a freaking module. That is a huge ripoff for the price. I'm still getting it. Because that's still like an extra scrap. benzene, I'm going to put right. That works. At least I can see it. However, those I am putting there. These I am putting here. And you I'm putting there. Actually, no, you are going in the life pod. Or did I make the water storage thing? I don't remember if I built that or not. That's usually what I do for these samples. Well, since my first game. I might as well spoil what I'm trying to do with these for those that don't actually know. Wait, where in the flip? What is it? Didn't I have more? Pretty sure I had more. It's not in a sea moth, is it? I don't think so. No. Not in that one either. Huh. Okay then. Actually, I don't know why I jumped in the water. I could probably easily find salt, but meh. For instance, if I had the water purification, I could already have it. So I need 2 salts. My instinct was to go back to the thing, but I don't need to be in there quite yet, because I need 1 more coral tube. Pretty sure I mentioned this, and yeah, I think my first live stream, I brought it up, however, y'all couldn't hear me. The best water is the coral that you get from those coral tubes and salts. I mean, it's not technically the best water. The actual best water is from the water purification station thing. That's part of the building, because that gives you 50 water versus the water you find in most containers is the worst water. It's the fish water. But this water is technically mid when it comes to hydration. But it's the one I like personally making. Because it's easy to make. It takes 2 ingredients to make the bleach, and it only takes the bleach in order to make the distilled water. Or disinfected water, not distilled. I know it was like this something. Because with just 2 crafts of it...
Vital signs stabilizing.
And with drinking like 3 of them, you can basically get full thirst. No, I don't need to. Alrighty, so... my next thing, first of all, I am taking that out. Next, I am canceling that and canceling that. I'm not canceling that. The reason why I'm canceling those 2 is because I am doing a little bit of change up. Those that I want. Alrighty, so first things first. I need 2 stalker teeth. Because that is not the only 2 things I'm going to be focused on. As you noticed, I'm going to be working on that one too. But I'm going to start with getting the glass. Which is 2 per. This is also why I didn't bother looking for the quartz. Got 3 stalker teeth, 10 spots. So assuming that none of them are glitched through the floor, because that does happen too. Darn it, I don't need lead. This is probably like the best reason why I love having the scanner room, is because of the stalker teeth. At least for my first building. Because it's like, look at all these teeth. And instead of trying to do the stupid scrap thing, yeah. That is one thing I also love about Below Zero. You're not stuck trying to find the freaking stalker teeth or trying to make the stalkers lose their teeth. Which, for those that don't know, I did kind of explain this in the first episode, but again, it was before I realized you guys could not hear me, or girls. In order for a stalker to lose its tooth, it has to pick up scrap. There are 4 types of, well, not scrap, the salvage, which, like I keep saying, I do prefer saying scrap. I'm used to Fallout. Fallout, it was called scrap. But they have to try to pick up the debris. There are 3 different types of debris. There is one particular that has a 0% chance to drop their tooth. I guess I could look for it real quick. I already got all the stuff to make the glass. See if I can get lucky on that first try. pop up. So it's not either one of these two. It's not that one. Oh, phooey. I guess I should have grabbed a battery. In case you don't know, you swim a little bit faster if you're not holding anything.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
I am going to do what I can not to use glitches, at least as much as possible. I'm not going to purposely use them. But it's like accidents do happen occasionally. It's like, for instance, in my hardcore, I had to quit out of it real quick because I was down here trying to get resources, and it wasn't this exact setup, but on mine, this was actually literally like right above. And when I got back from gathering the resources I need from down here, this wasn't loaded in. And I can never remember it. So I ended up swimming. And if you notice, okay, on this one I could actually go all the way to the wall. But this was right about here to the ground level. And I was in my prawn suit. With it not loading in, I actually got all the way to the wall. And then for some reason, I stopped being able to move, right? So I try to do my glitch where I would go into my PDA, go out of it, and then suddenly they loaded in. I'm like, what the? And so with me being stuck, I used the unstuck button. What the game doesn't tell you, or the devs, if you use that, if you are in a vehicle, it does not move the vehicle. That vehicle is permanently in that spot. All it does is move the player character out from being stuck. So now, I left because of that. I will be going back in, but it's like I didn't feel like having to restart what I did. And if you are playing hardcore, there is no in-game save. Like, I can't just save it. The only save mechanic for hardcore is where you exit. Because if you notice on this, it is just exit. In hardcore, they combined the save and exit. Once it's done saving, then it will exit. Alright, let's see. This one. Alrighty. Let me get away from them real quick. Alright. So, drop that. So, this scrap, assuming if I seen that correct, of course, it goes into a spot that you can't flip and see it. That is not what I meant to do. That one. This scrap, I don't know why it flipped backwards, but this scrap is the one that has a 0% chance to drop their teeth. So, if you are not getting teeth from the stalkers, check the scrap you're trying to use, because that one has a 0% chance. Alrighty. So, now that I got that out of the way, out of power. It is nighttime, so that doesn't really surprise me. And there's that.
Warning.
Something I forgot to do. I meant to do it, but I forgot. So there are two ways to fill this up afterwards. You can just knife the gel sack once and then pick the gel sack up. That is where you can guarantee filling this back up and where you get the most gel sacks. However, I don't need that. Not for what I'm getting these gel sacks for. I am perfectly fine wasting a couple resources, potential waste resources. I don't need that many right now. What I do need is doing this. That is not what I meant to do. However, that's an easy fix. My inventory's full. And that will be the rest. But for if you have one bioplant, this is all you need. That's why I don't mind wasting these resources. Because if you notice, that's exactly enough.
Power restored. All primary systems online.
Now given, you can eat them, but I got my own food source. I don't need them. In below zero, the lantern fruit, they don't give you water at all, which kind of sucks. I wish that they did, because I like using them as a food source. It's like grow 4 trees, you're basically set on both food and water. Because yeah, it only gives you 3 water per, but it's not bad. They're easy to grow. You don't have to freaking try to kill yourself trying to do the marble melon stuff. It's like, yeah, the marble melon, as far as my knowledge, is the best one that you can get food and water from. But it's also the most difficult to knife to get the seeds. The Chinese potato, it's not hard because they are their seed. So you don't have to worry about cutting them either. But it gives you the same water as the lanterns, and these are just easier to grab, and I don't have to remember to keep one, because with the Chinese potatoes you have to have at least one there in order for them to keep growing. But when it comes to the lantern trees, you don't have to worry about that. And sure, they take longer to grow, but like I said, once you get 4 of them fully grown, you don't have to worry about them again. I just like having these for the completion, but you don't actually need them whatsoever. Alrighty, so now that I got some power, I can go back into here and make the last enabled glass. Emerald. Emerald, I think is how you pronounce that. I like saying enabled, but I'm pretty sure that's wrong. I know what it means, so it's like the actual pronunciation doesn't really matter. Alrighty, so I got two choices. I can either put the module back into my Seamoth, go down and get some magnetite, because that's what I'm going to need, or just swim down there with my Sea Glide. Decisions. Which one should I do? That was a weird glitch. You notice that too, right? Like, that's not just on my screen. It's not doing it yet. But it's like, for some reason, it was blacking out the water, like, in like a split second, I feel. Alrighty. I guess I could work on finishing up the sun, although I don't really need it at the moment. So yeah, I will just see if I can quickly find some magnetite. Oh, sweet. That's my two that I need. You don't really need a lot of magnetite, so I typically just grab them when I need them. Now the rubies, I don't think I have any on me. That jumpsuit is going to be the more difficult one. Because of the nickel. Actually, no, the nickel's not too bad. It's going to be the sulfur. Alrighty. So, not the fabricator. Actually, I don't know why I'm looking for that. What I do need... Do I have 3 rubies, or is it just the one? If I have 3 rubies, that'd be great. I'm pretty sure I just got one. Yeah, it's just the one. So in order to finish that, I'm going to need more rubies. At least I don't need aerogel. Alright, so silver. Which means I need to look for sandstone. At least I only need 2 silver right now. Trying to get silver is highly freaking annoying if you're trying to get it from sandstone. Of course, where you find rubies, you can also find the silver, or... Don't go biting me. No biting. No biting. Bad biting.
Integrating new PDA data.
Oh, that one's infected too. The fastest way to get infected is with the stupid infected biters. Not like it matters. There's not a lot of consequences in game about being sick. I kind of wish that being sick, you will swim faster. Or slower, not faster. Like, I wish that it actually had consequences instead of just, like, lore. Like, for an instance, like, make it so your character coughs. Like, every now and again. Like, not consistently, but, like, just out of the blue. Like, say, once your oxygen starts getting pretty low, your character, like say once it hits 0, your character would like start coughing, which will, or once it gets around like 10 oxygen, that's when your character could start coughing, and it will use up more of your oxygen. Oh, dude, just having that as a mechanic in general, like regardless of what your O2 is, where your character just starts coughing and it makes you lose O2 faster. I think that would be a fun mechanic. Put that in hardcore. And if the game devs that can actually do stuff with this game for hardcore, specifically hardcore, please make it so you can save without exiting. Please. The reason why is because of my console. My console, for those that don't know, that wasn't here for, or that didn't read the description for the first, well, episode 1, is because my console, my 2 previous PS4s also did this, so I don't know if it's a PlayStation thing or just a me thing, but my console would randomly blue screen. For those that don't know, blue screening is where there's usually some sort of error, usually in game. Sometimes it's the game in itself, sometimes it could be like the system, like maybe too much RAM or whatever, but errors for the game specifically. And it's like, yeah, sometimes I would be fined all day. I could be fined for hours. However, there are occasions where I'm not even in the game for 5 minutes and it blue screens. I'm surprised that it hasn't really done it yet, because it used to do it to me consistently, like pretty consistently. Alright, so I don't need the sand chunks anymore. What I need is more copper. I need copper and titanium. Let's see, I need 1 computer chip, which means I need 2 copper. I also need 2 gold, which I would take. That's gold. Oh, actually, I need 3, because I need 1 for the computer chip. Not the diamonds! I was looking right at the fucking gold. Pick up the fucking gold. Sorry for my language. Sort of sorry for my language. I try to keep it PG, but sometimes it slips. I do need titanium, so I'm not mad about that. Get a little bored there. My mind got a little bored there. There's 1. I need 1 more. Like, there's plenty of ways to get titanium, so I don't try to get titanium from these. One thing I love about Below Zero, though, is they have more chunks. Not like limestone specifically, but instead of having the sandstone be like a catch-all for the mid-high grade stuff, like the lead, the gold, and all of them. They have one that specifically is gold, one that is specifically for lead, and they have another one that's like specifically for some of the other resources. I love that. I hate trying to get, say, gold, and I get lead. Now, it is a chance thing. You're not guaranteed. But still. Alright, so I don't need that anymore. But yeah, if you notice the Prawn Suit Death Module 2, it requires Kyanite. Kyanite you get in the you get in two places that I'm aware of. Both of them have a similar name. The first place, the less depth specific that you need to go, is the inactive lava zone. It is deep down. There is a glitch where you can get to it pretty quick. I'm not using that glitch though. For those that don't know, the glitch is where you use that thing, put it underground, make it so it's all the way like to the ceiling. It floats up anyway, so it does it regardless. And you try to use it. It will, and you get off. It's not like 100% guaranteed thing to happen, but if you do it right, you will glitch through the floor. Glitching through the floor, it will allow you to fall all the way down. Be careful. It is a falling act, not a swimming act. And there is fall damage. So, if you don't do it right, you will end up dying of fall damage. But, you can end up falling straight to the lava zone if you're careful. The lava zone is straight below us. Now, the second place is basically the same as the first one. The difference is, it is the active lava zone to get the kyanite. Now, you need the prawn suit for the most part to get it. Because it goes into, for the most part, most of it's like the ore chunk that you need the drill arm from the prawn suit to make. And, of course, you need the prawn suit for that drill arm. However, there is a story area that does have some individual crystals, but there's not a lot of them. So you're probably going to end up needing the drill arm regardless. I do have the copper on me. Yep. Alright, cool. So now I can make the module so I can at least start charging my sea moth during the day if I'm close to the surface. I'm going to need that real soon. Oh yeah, I used it for the one upgrade. With the prawn suit, the ones that I like to grab, since most of them are at least tier 1, I can do. I usually have the storage module. That's one of the 4 spots. depth module, that's 2 of the 4 spots. The thermal reactor, that's 3 of the 4 spots. And the jump jet upgrade, that is 4 of the 4 spots. For the arms, the only one I ever really use is the drill arm. That's one of the 2 arms. I tried using the torpedo arm, but it's not very good in my opinion. But that could also just be a skill issue with it. But it's like, yeah. I haven't tried the torpedo system. The sonar system for the Seamoth is eh. It doesn't reach nearly as far as the Cyclops sonar upgrade, which is kind of understandable, I guess, but still. Alrighty, so I don't need that at this point. Might as well save a little bit of electricity. Alright, so next up. Hopefully I will have enough depth. Well, I know I will have enough depth to get the rubies, which then I can make the enough depth. 500 meters. The last upgrade for the Seamoth will allow you to go 900 meters down, which is not enough for the active lava zone. Well, the inactive lava zone to get the kyanite. It can get you near, but not all. Alright, so I always forget. Alright, so I need to go this way. Oh, I'm going to repair this real quick. Now, where I'm going is pretty dangerous. I'm actually going to the 3rd Degassi base. Well, technically I'll be going around the 1st Degassi base, going down to the 2nd. Actually, as far as my knowledge, the 1st Degassi base is the island, which is the direction I'm heading. It's actually that cloud that is kind of hard to see. I'm pretty sure that's their 1st base. The 2nd base, lore-wise, I don't think they really number it themselves, but I'm pretty sure the 2nd one is in that glowing purple mushroom biome that my base is right next to. And the 3rd one, I believe, is the one that's straight below the island. I mean, the actual base itself is technically not straight below the island. It is pretty close to the island, though, from being right under it. It's the easiest finding, like, from under it. Because there is 2 things I want down here. Yeah, just be mindful of this area. You do need the Mark II depth module to, at the very least, to get to this. And even then, you gotta be careful. Alrighty, let's see if I can get lucky. I think I need to go this way for the base. Here it is. But yeah, you gotta be careful for these things. And the depth, of course. But as long as you're mindful, you also need to be careful with those. They will teleport you out of your vehicle. At least they don't attack your vehicle if you're not in it. But yeah, you do need to be mindful with them. Alright. There's quite a few PDAs. There are 3 levels. This is also where I get my favorite flippers. Right. They can still teleport you out from this building, by the way, so be extremely mindful. These are my favorite flippers.
New blueprint acquired. A titanium mass somewhere in this area. Unintegrated with PDA data on the Aurora. Integrating new PDA data.
Fudge off. I had the stasis rifle. I'll deal with you. This is also where I get my favorite building part.
New blueprint acquired. Integrating new PDA data.
Flipping A. I think you get this. No, shield generator. This is also where you get the Cyclops shield generator, which is what you need for late game. Well, like end game, technically. This is also where you find a cuttlefish egg. There's also the spot where you find the orange tablet.
Data. New blueprint acquired.
I wouldn't mind being teleported out of the building now. It's not like teleporting hurts you. Alright, there it is. Alright, so down in this area, you can find rubies. Which is one of the primary reasons why I came here. The other is for that Degassi base. You can also find rubies right up here too. As well as the gel sacks. They're not, like, extremely common, but they're common enough. This is not the best place for them, but they are a decent place. Another... Here's 3 of them. Which is exactly what I need for the moment. To make that final depth module. Alright, so we don't need that. I do need that. That's if I want to finish the upgrades for the Seamoth. I do at least want to finish the depth module. Yeah, if you actually go to the Aurora ship, you don't need to even make this. The entire reason, at least I'm pretty sure the reason why they even have this upgrade that you can craft is just in case your Cyclops gets destroyed. Although, at the same time, because I've seen gameplay of people salvaging their stuff from their Cyclops. So, I don't know. But it is one of the things that you need benzene for. It's not why I need it. Oh, it's not down here. Is it Mark II? I know I need benzene for something that I typically do. So the repulsion cannon, it's all right. I actually like the propulsion cannon more than the repulsion cannon, because with the propulsion cannon you can actually like hold the object. Well, the like weapon device, whatever you want to call it. Uh, the cannon. The cannon in itself will hold items until you hit the fire button again. However, the repulsion cannon, it doesn't do that. Not only that, but it's like if I am using the cannon, it's going to be for the cave spider, well, the cave crab things. That's why I use it. Alright, so that's 2 rubies. That is 3. I need 2 more. There's any more on that spot. I'm going to need more rubies, so if I end up finding more, I'm not going to say no to grabbing them. And just go nice and slow to make sure everything can spawn in. Ooh, there's another one. I think I've seen another one. Yep, I've seen another one in the corner of my eye, so that is 5. That is all I need for the moment. Oh, if you're wondering what that green substance is, it's a polyanathane, which you need gold and the hydrochloric acid. The hydrochloric acid, you need deep shrooms and salt. It's easy to make. Actually, that reminds me. Can I get the deep shrooms from down here? I don't remember if this area has them or not. I know they can be found at this depth, but I don't know about specifically if they're down in this area. But it is cool, because I do need quite a few of them. I only need 1 to start. Oh, if you are having trouble with power for whatever reason, you don't really need a lot. But say if you want to make a bunch of battery chargers, a bunch of vehicles and stuff, first of all, by the time that you drain the battery off of one vehicle, your other vehicles, as long as they're in the moon pools, they will all probably be fully charged by the time you can drain one battery. Especially if you are doing what I'm doing and having it so they will charge themselves during the day for the sea moth. I'm looking for a white mushroom. I think I already looked in that hole. Yeah, be careful with the teleporter guys. They're annoying. Once you cure yourself, you don't have to worry about them anymore. Egg. Once I make the reinforced suit, I don't have to worry about the steam vents hurting me anymore. I'm gonna have to leave soon just because of God bless America. think this area has the deep shrooms that I need. But this area does. If I can find nickel while I'm here, that would be great. I need 3 for the depth module. There's also another thing I need. Yeah, I'll get to you in a minute. So that tablet that I got, you actually need it for... This is the Lost Sea, for those that don't know. You can find nickel in this area. This is also a good spot where you can find more rubies, too. Speaking about nickel... Oh, no. Never mind. That's just an indent in the wall. Alright, I need oxygen. I will come back here. Might as well move my sea moth over here, too. Let's see, I'm not too far. No, I'm good. So I need to head in the northern direction. But yeah, the entrance is always close to the Degassi base. Do be mindful. If you are still in this area, but with the open roof, there is a groan.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
There's a grown ghost Leviathan that you need to worry about. Luckily, it's not actually in this cave. It's like right outside. But I think you need to head south in order to find that one. If you need to scan it, that's a good place for it. Because you need to scan the juvenile. Well, I mean, you don't have to scan the juvenile. Well, you don't have to really scan very much. Yeah, no, wrong button. That button. You know, while I'm here... Battery. I should have brought some water with me, so I don't lose that egg. This egg, I don't care if I lose. I can just get another one. However, when it comes to the cuttlefish eggs, there's only 5 of them. I'm not going to outright look. Oh, no, you don't. Go away. That almost killed me. Alright, so with me being as low health as I am and being as thirsty as I am, I'm going to start heading back. Because 1 tick of thirst is going to kill me. Or I guess knock my character out and somehow respawn back at base.
Fluid intake immediately.
Yeah, I'm working on it. I should have enough water to at least last me to get home. Or at least pretty close. See, when I play hardcore, I actually carry water with me. I don't worry about food, though. Because it actually takes a decent amount of time for your hunger to go away. I do think that your hunger and thirst should take longer to drain. Because it kind of drains a little too quickly for my liking. At least where it starts hurting you. Because it's like, in real life, as long as you're decently hydrated to start with, it takes, I think, 3 to 5 days. It nearly takes a week, if not a week, for you actually to die of dehydration in real life. I'm not entirely sure of exactly how, at what point, but yeah, it takes roughly a week. For hunger, you can go, I think, nearly 2 weeks, depending on a couple factors. First of all, like, the more you weigh, like, the more fat you have on your body, the longer it will take to die of denourishment or hunger.
Vital signs stabilizing.
So it's like, yeah, I know that, like, the time is, like, sped up. Hang on, I'm throwing this outside. But it's like, it's a little too fast to be more realistic. Now, given, like, you can't really tell the weight of the main character, but still. I do need to get a couple, like, 2 medkits. For those that don't know, I do not scare easy. It actually takes a decent hard work. When it comes to, like, the only way to really scare me specifically is, like, jump scares. Stuff that I'm not actually mentally prepared for, basically. But when it comes to creatures, like, if I'm playing a game, nothing scares me unless it's a jump scare. Okay. I didn't grab salt, but I could grab some salt. Yeah, nose it just... I probably should trim my nose hairs, but it's like I don't have anything to really do that safely. I got scissors, but I'm not going to trim my nose hairs with scissors. That's just asking for trouble. Alright, well, I at least got the stuff that I can make the depth module once I get the plasteel. Which is easy. I got the lithium already. I just need the actual titanium. If you back out of the fabricator while it's crafting something, you don't have to, like, do, like, the multi-back out thing. Alrighty. So... I can drop 2 of these, because I don't need them at the moment. Mother trucker. So I want to make the fins, but I don't have the deep shrooms at the moment. I need one more silver. I can at least get most of the stuff for that. Actually, not at the moment. I have the depth module that I really need to work on first. Which I need limestone. That's not the button I meant to hit.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
That might have startled some of you. I do apologize if it did. I won't get warnings when that happens. So why am I looking for it through limestone? It's like I could just get scrap. It's not like I don't have to.
Primary directive to swim closer to Theta to full creature.
Mesmer.
Swim closer. Swim closer now. It looks so thin.
That is one of the reasons why I'm usually in a vehicle. Because they don't sense you like that while you're in a vehicle. Oh, that is one of them I'm going to actually look at. Yeah, that is called a mesmer. Come on, where are you? There it is. Alright. The mesmer. Small carnivorous life form with a unique hunting mechanism that enables it to hypnotize its foes. Outer wings. The mesmer swims using a number of wings which can be angled up and forward on approaching its prey. Tiny lenses on the surface can be tilted independently to create mesmerizing patterns which flood the victim's brain with enticing messages, interdependent in whatever form is most convincing by the target. Outer shell. The mesmer can open the jelly-like recess in its protective outer shell in order to error 4, 6, 3. Share its beauty. Do not resist. Assessment. Draw closer. That's why I wanted to read it. I don't know how it can change the database on itself, but still. That's the entire reason why I wanted to read that out loud to you guys. I love the mesmer. There's one of them, there's a creature that is kind of similar in its acting in Below Zero. It's not called a mesmer. I forget what it's actually called. But it will do that up until you get so close. It doesn't attack you physically, but once you draw so close, it will poison you. So be mindful with that one. It's kind of looks a lot like the Stalkers. It's kind of like a stalker and a mesmer had a child almost. So which room do I got? Oh, yeah. Lithium is what I'm missing. I keep wanting to say lodestone. I don't know why. Actually, I kind of know why. There's another game that it's lodestone that has similar properties. Wrong machine. Oh, I forgot. You need two of them. One of these days. Well, I guess I should have done that. Alright, so time to go over the list of ingredients. I'm doing that now. I'm probably going to temporarily end the stream afterwards though, because I'm getting hungry. I will start a episode 3 part 2 afterwards, but I'm going to cook myself a frozen pizza. Alright, so list of ingredients I need. Let's see. So for all tablets, you need an ion cube. Depending on the tablet will determine rather if you need a change. You only need one orange tablet. As far as I'm aware, there's actually no. I might have lied just now. You might need it for the mother. I'm not entirely sure. I don't remember if that's a purple or an orange tablet. Watch it be a different tablet altogether. Watch it be like a blue tablet. Alright. So, I don't think I have the propulsion cannon. No, I don't. I don't plan on making one, though. Because the only time I really use the propulsion cannon is if I'm on the Aurora. Now, the stasis rifle, that I do want. But that's just 2 magnetite that I need to worry about. I'll make that in a bit. Let's see, what else? I don't need that at the moment. I will start building the rocket after I get cured. Let's see. I don't need the module Mark 1 because I literally just finished the Seamoth death modules. Don't need those. Already made that. I could start making that, but I don't really need it or want it really. So I do need kyanite. I need 2 kyanite for that one. I need to find the deep shrooms so I can start growing them and start making the polyanthin. What? The words. The word. The grade bottle. The liquid poly stuff. My brain does not want to function with that right now. The wiring kit's easy. Kyanite's not too difficult once I start going down there. I do want the thermal, but I'm going to need to head down there with my suit in order to probably get the kyanite. So that's going to be the second trip. Is when I'm, well, the first trip is to get the kyanite. The second trip would be to get some story. I mean, my first time, I'm going to advance the story a little bit, and then yeah. I need nickel. I need 3 nickel for that. I don't plan on making either one of those. Swim fins, just need the deep shrooms basically. Let's see. I don't think I have the Mark 1 at all. Did I make the Mark 1? I think I just made the Mark 1, didn't I? No. So I need the Mark 1. Yeah, 3 nickel for that to get the Mark 1. And then the Mark 2. It's kind of sad it's easier to make the Mark 2 than the Mark 1. To put it in perspective, the area that I'm right above is where you can get magnetite. The easiest place to get magnetite literally is right below me. Enabled glass. You need the... They really should have switched the Mark 1 and the Mark 2 formulae for... No, that's Seamoth. I am looking at the wrong one. Never mind. Don't listen to me when it comes to that. Lithium is actually the easiest. Is actually the Gun Island, which I kind of showed you last episode. The kyanite is the inactive lava zone and the active lava zone to get kyanite. And of course you need the Mark 1 module. But those are the only 2 upgrades you need for the prawn suit. Same thing with the Cyclops. Cyclops upgrade depth modules are pretty easy. I just need to look for the engine. So when I come back, honestly, the only thing I'm going to be using the Cyclops for is so I can make the shield generator. I don't care for the Cyclops. In my opinion, the Cyclops is worse than the Sea Truck and Below Zero. The entire reason why I think it's worse is because it's so stupidly slow, it's annoying. At least with the sea truck, you can detach the modules you add uh, in order to move faster and more agilely. But you can't do that with the Cyclops. It's like, yeah, the Cyclops does have one benefit. It's like you can put a ton of storage on it if you want. But you can also get the storage modules for the sea truck. And again, you can detach those modules if you need to be quicker for whatever reason. But I'm fine going slow when it comes to it if needed. Because for below zero, the only time when I really attach those modules is if I need my storage. Like if I plan on crafting something. Because I fill those storage boxes with potential resources that I need to build. So I don't really need anything else. So literally the only use I really get out of the Cyclops is to build the shield generator. I will show off the Cyclops a little bit, and the mechanics for them. Like, the Cyclops, it's not horrible. It is a decent vehicle. However, once you start getting attacked, it's basically game over, more or less. Depending on what's attacking you, it's fine. You can either power it off or engage the silent mode and put your engines on the lowest speed. Putting it in silent mode will automatically turn off all lights. It will quiet the engine so it's not nearly as loud. So just those two factors will allow you to sneak by the ghost leviathans because they get agitated by light, which is part of the reason why they actually attack each other, in case you didn't know. Because ghost leviathans, while growing up, they will attack everything, including their own species. Which I don't know how they end up making more of them. Like, that is something I don't find logical for the creatures. Now, if they would act more like earthworms in that regard, where if you cut an earthworm in half, you basically have two different worms now. Like, if they acted like that, and that's how they actually make more, I could understand that. Attacking each other. But at the same time, like, it still doesn't make sense to me. Like, there are certain mechanics when it comes to stuff like that I don't understand. Like, a species shouldn't really attack itself as a normalized thing. That is one thing that baffles me about the human race. We are the only species that I'm aware of, there could be others, but humans are the only species that I'm aware of on Earth that actively attack each other. I know that some ant colonies, if I remember correctly, if an individual ant is sick, they will kill it and move the body out of the nest, but that is to preserve life within itself. What I'm meaning, I don't understand why us humans attack each other so stupidly like we do. It baffles me. Like, if you want to have a difference in opinion with someone, that's fine. Like, that's your right. However, getting all pissy because someone doesn't share your beliefs, that baffles me. Like, starting like a physical fight with someone baffles me. Why? Like, if it's one thing, like if you're literally defending yourself, like someone starts attacking you, but it baffles me for the person that starts the fight. Like, I do understand, like, people get angry, people get upset, and they start getting defensive, and once they get so defensive, that's when they start getting physical, usually. But just naturally, like, for an instance, an American and, say, a Chinese person, as an example, it's like, say if they don't understand each other, and because of that, say just as an example, the American uh, find too many differences between themselves with the American and the Chinese person, and they start like shaming on that Chinese guy. That baffles me. It's like, just because we are slightly different from one another, it doesn't really give you the right to hate upon that person. It's and it's like, the places around the world that still allow slavery, that baffles me too. It's like, owning a person is stupid and shouldn't exist. Uh, Now, like, it's one thing to be like a temporary thing, like, say if the person is in debt, to like sell your services to, say, work in the mines or something like that, as long as like you have all the safety equipment needed. But it's like, to work off your debt. Another thing, I don't know why. I know I'm getting on a rant a little bit, but it's like, I don't think the ladies that want to work on the corner for money, I don't think that should be illegal. There should be rules around it, but I don't think it should be illegal. For those that know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. Like, one of the rules should be that you should have to get tested every so often, free of charge, first of all. Uh, like, getting tested for diseases should be completely free regardless. Uh, as well as medicine. If it's medicine that the person absolutely needs, should be free. That is another thing that baffles my mind, is that we have to pay for cures that we need to survive. It baffles me that you need to pay for food. It baffles me that we need to pay for water. If it is a human need, it baffles me. Yes, when it comes to stuff like soda or soda pop, or pop, whatever you want to call it, yes, you should have to pay for that because it's not something you need. However, water, specifically H2O, water, should be free. Baffles my mind that it's not. Food, yes. Junk food, like stuff like chips and stuff like that, yes, you should have to pay for. However, if it's stuff that has nutrients that the human body needs, it should be free. So stuff like most breads should be free, most fruits and vegetables should be free. And yes, I understand the farmers need to get paid. However, there are other ways that the farmers can get paid. Not only that, but most plants, the least thing that they need sunlight for the most part, and they need water. That's all that plants really need. And like I said before, water should be for free. So, going in that regard, free. Seeds should be for free for the farmers. Now, when it comes to farmers, yes, they should still have to pay for their own, like, tractors and field, uh, mechanical field tools. When it comes to stuff like a hoe, the farming hoe, they should not have to pay for that. That should be free for them because they need that for the farming specifically. But the vehicle farming equipment, those they should have to pay for because that's something that they don't really need. It just makes their job easier. Uh, but that's a whole different story. I will probably restart the stream here in about an hour or so. Uh, I'm not going to give it an exact time. It will probably be roughly in an hour. I won't be playing for that long the second time, but what I will get is the last 2 engine upgrades for the Cyclops. These are the 3 parts you need to make the Cyclops. Making the Cyclops in itself, you just need the blueprints for the hull, the bridge, and the engine. That is one thing I wish that they actually did for the Cyclops. I wish that you would actually have to craft the hull. I wish you would actually have to craft the bridge. And I wish you would actually have to craft the engine, because what's the point in having the blueprints? But in order to make the Cyclops, it's more like... I wish that crafting the Cyclops was a lot like crafting the spaceship. Because it's like with the spaceship, you need to craft the launch pad. The launch pad is where you start crafting the next part of the actual spacecraft in itself. You need to craft the base, which is where the propulsion system of the ship is. Then you need to craft the like torso of the rocket, and then after you build the torso, then you need to build the actual cabin of the rocket. I like what they did with that. Yes, it takes a lot of freaking resources, but I like it. When it comes to the Cyclops, I wish that they would have made it. Yeah, I can understand not attacking, but I wish that instead of deploying decoys, because I hate making decoys. Yeah, they're not difficult or anything like that to craft. I don't actually remember the recipe because I never actually crafted one. It's like there's mechanics in this game I don't care for. Where is the decoy? Is it actually down below? Oh, there. No. That's beacon. Now I have a decoy. Do I really not actually have the recipe for the decoy? No, I got the beacon. I got the grav trap, waterproof locker. You kind of start the game with that. Sea glide, those. Personal tools. Laser, stasis, propulsion, habitat, flare, air bladder, pathfinder, scanner. Seriously? I haven't actually unlocked the decoys yet. That's funny. But it would be better if you could switch out where you can choose if you want to have it as a beacon, deploying the beacon, or the decoy. I would totally use the Cyclops more if I can physically deploy the beacon from the control room of the Cyclops. That would have been a phenomenal thing. one of the things that does aggravate me for the Cyclops, the default tube only fits one decoy. Without the upgrade, it should be a minimum of 3. And with the upgrade, it should be like 6 to 10 decoys. I think would have been a better thing. Well, decoys or beacons. Because if you look at the difference between a beacon and a decoy, they are roughly the same size. Yeah, I think the beacon is slightly smaller, but at the same time, they could have it in a case similar to the decoy. I really wish that they would do both. To be fair, they more or less got rid of the decoys in Below Zero altogether, so I think they still have them. I think. I don't remember. It's been a bit. But yeah. Oh wait. So resources. Alright, so get back to this. I already went over the prawn suit Mark 1. Mark 2. Oh, no, not the Seamoth, the prawn suit. When it comes to the scanner room, my first playthrough, I actually used this upgrade. I don't use it anymore. Because, as it is, once the first item pops up, usually by the time you get to it, another one's already popped up. So, you don't really need the speed upgrade. Not only that, but you more or less are exchanging range for speed. And when it comes to the scan room, you don't really need speed. Like, it's perfectly fine as it is. And not only that, but I think it gets faster and faster as more items are scanned. At least within reason. So you don't really need the speed upgrade. We'll end up using that at some point, but I need the Cyclops in itself before I can start building those upgrades. When it comes to the Cyclops, when I do use it, what I end up doing with it is I move it down to the inactive lava zone right above the hole for the active lava zone. I use that as kind of like a starter base down there. Then what I end up doing is I build an actual base there. I have one moon pool with it because you can't even really take the Seamoth in it, or yeah, Seamoth in it. It's like, yeah, you can transport the Seamoth, but it will start taking damage as soon as you let it out from the inactive lava zone. So there's not really a point in it. So I don't worry about it. I don't think I need anything else. I do use thermal plants for it, though. I like to have 2 thermal plants just to keep up. I usually build them on it, but when I learned that they actually have a range and you don't actually have to build them on the base, I actually started putting them like right above lava, so they can get more. And I haven't done it yet because in my second and third playthrough I didn't even build a base there, but I will. I will this time because what I plan on doing is build the ion batteries, which I don't have access to yet. I will have access to them soon, though. And because with the Cyclops, if you have the thermal, which I do plan on getting for it, I don't move the Cyclops until I have the thermal. Because once I get the thermal recharge, which my buddy didn't even know that the Cyclops had a thermal reactor for it. It's a very similar recipe to the prawn suit one, where it takes a wiring kit and the polyethane, but it takes 4 kyanite instead of 2. So I know I will need another 4 for those. I think I have the recipes I want. So that's the resources I plan on getting next time. Like I said, I'm going to end up making a part 2. I do need to turn that off. So it doesn't take up pattern. Let's see, what's this one?
Partially translated
Oh.
broadcast.
9 new biological subjects designated. Mode. Hunting. Analyzing. Sharing subject locations with other agents.
So, something I talked about the first episode that y'all couldn't hear me with is the theory that I have for some of these broadcasts and what happened. So, you know, at the start of the game, I actually showed you, if I remember correctly, that you got life pod. So if you pay attention to that inner cutscene and don't skip it, you see that you go to the life pod, you eject from the life pod, the aurora sort of explodes. But if you notice, in that cutscene, that you get knocked out by a panel. The game never says how long you were knocked out for. So, my theory, which I think is a decent theory when it comes to this, is you were knocked out longer than you think. When you wake up, there's a fire. I think the fire is what caused you to wake up. I think you were knocked out for a few actual days. After all, it would explain why you do still have some why I think your hunger is like half or something like that at the start. I don't exactly remember. Although I think that when you first wake up, your thirst should also be like half, but that's besides the point. But my theory is you were knocked out for a few days. And within those few days of being knocked out, I think every single survivor was what got killed within those few days, and they were broadcasting, and I think it saved up into your radio transmissions, and then over time it allows you to do them. There are 2 life pods that I'm aware of that it doesn't give you the exact coordinates. They give you photos for the first one, and then for the second one, you have to follow a direction it tells you. I will find every single life pod for you guys. It's actually why I'm doing this. But yeah, I will end up going to every life pod it allows me to find, and I will actually show you what you need for the 2. One of them I think I kind of showed you. It's the one that's upside down. But I will take you to every life pod Not next episode, though. It will probably be before I get cured and after we see what happens with the sunbeam. Actually, no, I already showed you the sunbeam exploding. I don't have to worry about that anymore. I think. I don't remember. So yeah, that's more or less it for right now. I'm going to cook some food for me. Well, kinda cook some food. But I will be back after I eat and whatever episode I'm watching at the time. I finished that. So yeah. But that's gonna be it for right now. Like I said, I'll be back on in a couple hours. Well, here in about an hour. And it's 5. So give me roughly an hour. Because it's going to take probably about 10 minutes for the oven to heat up, 20 minutes to cook the pizza, and then a little bit to actually eat the pizza and finish the episode. So it should be roughly an hour. I'll be back on. So I guess have a nice day, have a nice night, and I will see y'all here in about an hour for those that are here.